Charges pile up for parents involved in the college admissions scandal. A police chase in Oklahoma City ends in 2 arrests, and the Oklahoma House passes a bill that outlaws vaping. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Tori King.
And I'm Aspen Endriss. We begin with an update on the college admissions scandal, also known as Operation Varsity Blues. Former star of the show Full House, Lori Loughlin, faces additional charges. An indictment handed down by a federal grand jury today added the conspiring to commit fraud and money laundering against Loughlin and her husband, along with 14 other parents. The FBI says it is serious about prosecuting.
We believe all of them, parents, coaches, and facilitators, lied, cheated, and covered up their crimes at the expense of hardworking students and taxpayers everywhere.
Among 50 suspects in this case, including Desperate Housewives Felicity Huffman, 13 have entered into plea agreements, pleading guilty to 1 count to commit mail fraud and honest service mail fraud. Loughlin and her husband appeared in court last week but did not indicate how they plan to plead. And a wild police chase in Oklahoma City ends with a peaceful surrender. In this video from News 9, you can see that Johnson drives through a yard in an attempt to evade the police. Looks like they might be shooting at the tires in order to stop the car. The police try to use spikes to stop the car, and they throw a spike strip under the tires. Johnson managed to turn himself around, but doesn't get very far before he surrendered to the police outside the neighborhood. Driver of the car was identified as 42-year-old Alvin Johnson, and the passenger was 42-year-old Corey Williams. Officials say that the men threw a bag of marijuana out of the vehicle before the police were able to pull them over. Both have been booked into the county jail. Johnson faces 5 complaints, including aggravated attempt to elude an officer, driving while privilege suspended, and possession of marijuana.
Today, the OU Board of Regents held a special meeting to discuss what it's called personal matters. OU Nightly's Ashley Eddy is live at Evans Hall to explain what the special meeting entails. Ashley?
This morning, Jones Day Law Firm met with university officials for the very first time to discuss its ongoing investigation with former university president David Boren. And Jones Day met with the Board of Regents and OU President James Gowgley. The firm is allegedly investigating allegations of misconduct by former OU President David Boren and former Vice President for University Development Trip Hall. Last week, 2 OU graduates claimed these allegations were true, with details of their own experiences with Boren and Hall. And since today's meetings were filled with confidential details, they were closed to the public. Reporting live at Evans Hall, Ashley Eddy.
Thanks, Ashley. According to a statement from the Board of Regents, the investigation is being conducted in a manner to protect the privacy of all involved. And on top of the special meeting that happened today in Oklahoma City, OU still could have to face Title IX charges involving the Boren investigation. Alex Antonides joins us with more.
The outcome of the pending investigation into former university president David Boren and Vice President Trip Hall. Now, according to the university, their Title IX policies say the university recognizes its obligation to address incidents of sexual misconduct, discrimination, and harassment on campus when the files are claimed. And the policies, however, do not mention any requirement of the Title IX office to notify law enforcement of an alleged crime and instead put that responsibility on alleged victims. Now, in the case of Boren and Hall, OU chose to conduct an internal investigation into the reported allegations, which has contributed to be criticized by victims' rights advocates. Now, other universities around the country have found themselves in similar situations in recent years, including Baylor University, where the controversy led to the resignations of university officials, including President Ken Starr. Now, at this time, there have not been any indications that a lawsuit like Baylor's have been directed at OU, but Boren's attorney continues to deny allegations against him, and OU officials have refused to comment in depth, citing the ongoing investigation. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Alex. And an update on the suspect in the recent racist and anti-Semitic graffiti attacks in Norman and Oklahoma City. 45-year-old Allison Christine Johnson was charged yesterday with 1 felony count of malicious injury to property, 3 misdemeanor counts of malicious injury to property, and 1 misdemeanor count of malicious intimidation or harassment. Johnson turned herself in last Thursday to officials after she spray-painted racial and anti-Semitic slurs at the Democratic offices in Norman and Oklahoma City, the Firehouse Art Center, McKinley Elementary, and the Chickasaw Nation. Johnson is set to appear for court for a preliminary hearing on April 30th at 9 a.m. Her bond is set at $25,000 and has not posted bond at this time.
New York City has declared a public health emergency regarding the rising number in measles cases. Talon Forbis has more in the news center. Talon?
Yes, Tori, the outbreaks are affecting the Orthodox Jewish community in Williamsburg. The public health emergency is in response to 285 cases of measles in Brooklyn and Queens since October.
And to give you a sense of what troubling development this is, it's a huge spike. We saw only 2 cases in New York City in 2017. So we have a very serious situation on our hands.
Unvaccinated people living in certain zip codes will be required to receive vaccines in an effort to end the outbreak. Those who have not received the MMR vaccine or do not have evidence of immunity may be given a violation and could be fined $1,000. And YouTube disabled comments on the live stream of a House Judiciary hearing today. During the hearing, Congress searched for answers from Facebook and Google on just how white supremacists use social media. While YouTube defended their platform, they were forced to disable comments on their live stream due to an influx of racist and anti-Semitic comments. Several tech companies joined prominent right-wing activists and civil rights activists to discuss the balance of protecting free speech while trying to eliminate hate speech. The companies say they have policies in place to prohibit users from inciting violence on their platforms. Minimum wage is increased to $20 an hour for more than 205,000 employees at Bank of America. CEO Brian Moynihan explained how the company will implement the new minimum wage over the next 2 years. Paychecks will first be raised to $17 an hour starting May 1st and continue to climb until the year 2021. According to a company press release 2 years ago, the bank employees got a raise to $15 an hour. Bank of America declined to further comment on the matter. And will Congress be seeing Mueller grand jury information? Attorney General William Barr said he does not plan to ask a court for permission to release the details. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Talon.
Tori, it's really been a really nice day outside, and it really feels like spring. I'm really excited.
It does feel like spring.
All right, Trey Bell, is this nice weather here to stay?
It is for a while. It is quite sunny outside, and we've got some warm temperatures as well. If you're outside too long, it may start to feel hot. We're sitting in the 80s across the state, 86 here in Norman, 87 in Oklahoma City, and that's the case across the state. Once again, cooler off to our northeast in Miami, sitting at 83 degrees, but heading forward, an even warmer day in store for tomorrow. The heat continues. Big changes are on the way as well later in the week, and snow for some. Yes, April snow will be affecting some people in the state. I'll break down when that will happen and exactly where coming up in Maine weather. Tori, Aspen, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Trey. And a vaping bill passed in the Oklahoma State House. See why this bill could matter to you or your kids when OU Nightly returns.
Plus, coming up, find out how a simple trip to the mailbox could help feed thousands of Oklahomans this May. Stay with us.
OU's official governing body officially has a new member. Taitum Wilson joins us with the details on the regent. Taitum?
Tori, OU graduate Eric Stevenson has been confirmed by the Oklahoma Senate to serve on the OU Board of Regents. Stevenson will serve a 7-year term and is the 4th African American ever to be a regent on the OU board. He was nominated by Governor Kevin Stitt after a series of recent racist incidents at the university. Yesterday's vote had a final tally of 45-1, the lone dissenting vote being Senator George Young, who is the head of the state's legislative Black Caucus. Young has voiced his concern about Stevenson not living in Oklahoma. The new regent is a senior management employee for Nationwide Insurance in Ohio. And James Cooper made history this morning, becoming Oklahoma City's first openly gay city council person. Cooper was sworn in today and will serve a 4-year term for OKC's Ward 2. Last night, people gathered to march to City Hall to celebrate his election. Among the attendees was Oklahoma City Mayor David Holt and members of the LGBTQ community. Ward 6 Councilwoman Jo Beth Hammond was also sworn in this morning. A bill that would outlaw vaping on school property in Oklahoma passed in the State House. Senate Bill 33 adds to the Tobacco Free Schools Act, making it illegal to use vaping products on school grounds, whether they have nicotine or not. Enforcement of the bill and punishment for violators will be up to individual school districts. In December, the U.S. Surgeon General called vaping among youths an epidemic. The bill has already passed through the Senate. It now heads to the governor's desk. If signed, the law would go into effect November 1st. Tori, back to you at the desk.
Well, thanks, Taitum. Postal workers will soon be picking up more than just mail, with the United States Postal Service's canned food drive just weeks away. The 27th Annual National Association of Letter Carriers Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive will take place near the beginning of May. Residents throughout Oklahoma will receive a donation bag the week of May 6th and are asked to fill it with canned goods. Then they can leave their donations near their mailbox, and a letter carrier will pick it up on Saturday, May 11th. This food drive has collected 11.3 million pounds of food in Oklahoma since the program's inception in 1993.
This Saturday is a big deal for some, especially for some record stores across the country. We'll tell you why coming up.
And Trey's here to keep us updated on the potential for freezing snow this weekend.
Yeah, guys, portions of the state may see snow later this week, but not until after we get past these warm temperatures. I'll have more after the break. Hey guys, welcome back to OU Nightly. We've got mostly sunny skies outside. This is a view of Oklahoma City, and so we've got these low clouds here, but it's beautiful outside. We're sitting in the 80s right now. 85 here in Norman, winds out of the south-southeast about 25 miles an hour, so it's a little breezy, but it is dry as well, a dew point of only 47 degrees. So again, that humidity is low. Wind forecast heading forward. This is the big story for tomorrow. This is going to help us get even warmer tomorrow than we were today. These south winds bringing that warm air northward from Texas. And so as we're waking up tomorrow morning, winds begin to increase heading into the afternoon. So this is noon Wednesday. And then as we approach 3 o'clock, winds will be gusting in excess, these are sustained winds in excess of 30 miles an hour. Gusts will be even higher. However, extreme fire danger in effect for western Oklahoma, as well as high wind advisory. So definitely a significant wind threat for tomorrow. It's dry outside, and so that helps make conditions favorable for wildfires. And then progressing through the evening, approaching sunset, those winds begin to die down. And I did mention in first weather, we do have a chance for snow in portions of the state. This is tomorrow evening in the Panhandle. Showers will be moving into the western Panhandle late Wednesday night. And as temperatures drop below freezing, below 32 degrees, that rain will transition into snow. And then progressing through the remainder of Thursday morning, that snow kind of tapers off. I'm not expecting any snowfall or sub-freezing temperatures here in central Oklahoma. How much snow are we expecting? In the western Panhandle, temperatures snowfall maximizes about 1.5 inches in Boise City, and as you move eastward, those snow totals decrease. Game day forecast for Saturday, the spring game Fan Fest in the morning, 49 degrees. Temperatures will be decreasing throughout the day, and also showers move in early afternoon, so be sure to bundle up, bring your umbrella and your rain parka. Lows tonight 60s across the state, and then as we're heading forward through the next 7 days, temperatures remain rather mild. We do drop off on Thursday, however, and then heading into the weekend, we get pretty chilly. We do have rain chances for the spring game.
Okay, well, that's good to know. I'll be going to the OU rugby game and football game, so I hope the rain holds off, but
yes.
Thank you, Trey.
Be sure to bring your umbrella when you go.
Absolutely, I will.
All right, thanks, Trey.
No problem.
While for many around Norman this Saturday will all be about the spring game, but for the Norman music community, it will be a completely different kind of party. This Saturday, Guest Room Records on Main Street will join thousands of stores worldwide in celebrating International Record Store Day. Record stores from more than 20 countries will join the 2019 Ambassador Pearl Jam in the international event. Guest Room will offer special release records from multiple artists and a store-wide sale as part of the festivities.
It's just a fun time. It's a celebration of It's what we try to do every day. It's a celebration of music. It's a celebration of records and record stores and just kind of the community that we're part of.
And today, the Sooner football team booked a couple of huge games a few years down the road.
Shannon Ehrhardt's here to tell us about the Sooners' newly announced Home and Home series.
That's right. Well, Aspen and Tori, I'll give you two a hint. There will be crimson everywhere, and orange and blue were the winning colors in last night's national championship game. Sports is coming next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Shannon Ehrhardt, and it's time for your daily dose of sports. It's an exciting day for Sooner fans who are hungry for revenge. OU just announced they will play Alabama for a home-and-home football series. But don't get too excited. The series will be 13 years from now in 2032 and 2033. Although the Sooners fell to Bama in the Orange Bowl, they have a 3-2-1 advantage over the Crimson Tide. Of more immediate concern to the OU football team would be Saturday's spring game. Last night, Sooner stars CeeDee Lamb and Kenneth Murray rolled up to Sooner Sports Pad to talk about what's to come at the Palace on the Prairie.
It's great for us to get out there and perform in front of the fans. Great fan base we have here, and we always want to do things bigger, so we might as well just bring everybody out, come out to the game on Saturday.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, just like he said, you know, Coach Riley trying to make it a big deal to come out here and, you know, play ball on Saturday for the spring game. So, you know me, I love playing ball, so I'm looking forward to getting out there.
If you've been living under a rock, there was in fact a national championship game last night. Virginia and Texas Tech went to overtime for the 8th time in national championship history. James Meyer has all the details. James?
That's right. The Red Raiders from Texas Tech and the Cavaliers from Virginia went toe-to-toe for the finale of the Big Dance last night in Minneapolis. These stout defensive teams fought for 40 minutes and decided, hey, we need to settle this in overtime. OT began tied at 68, but Kyle Guy and the Cavs wouldn't be silenced and shut down the Raiders. A year ago, Virginia was the first 1 seed to ever lose to a 16 seed in history. But now they have their first title in program history. A redemption season for the Cavs, with the title being the cherry on top. Congratulations to Virginia on their fairy tale story. And after the game, Cavs coach Tony Bennett was beyond thankful.
All good gifts come from the Father of the heavenly lights. I think he was shining down on us, and just great plays by the players, and blessed without a doubt. Fortunate, you can use whatever word you want. I know what was going on, I do.
And one security guard in the arena did not share the enthusiasm of the fans. This guard was stationed in the Texas Tech student section and is as stoic as a guard at the Buckingham Palace. Now, you know, I think I'll take a page out of the guard's book here. Shannon, that is all I have. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, James. Maybe both of you will find this interesting. After the Sooners went 3-0 against Baylor, senior Kaylee Clifton took it a step further by winning Big 12 Player of the Week. And this wasn't the first, but the second time Clifton has won this award. And she's the 9th Sooner to win a weekly award in 2019. And poor Chris Davis can't catch a break. The Orioles' first baseman broke the MLB record for consecutive at-bats without a hit last night for his last 49. But too bad, the Orioles still owe him nearly $100 million for the next 4 years. You know, I wouldn't be too happy if I was the Orioles. That really stinks.
I wouldn't really be either. Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks.
And when we get back, we'll tell you about a heartwarming story that went viral yesterday.
We'll give you a hint. It has to do with a nurse and a baby. Stay with us. We'll tell you all about it when OU Nightly returns.
I'm Taylor Cox at the Update Desk. A bill has been approved by a state Senate committee will allow Oklahoma teachers to carry concealed handguns on school property with easier training. The bill has passed the House, and the Senate Education Committee has voted to send the bill to the full Senate. If it passes, the bill will permit school employees to have weapons on campus with a concealed carry license. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for that update, Taylor. A nurse at a Massachusetts hospital is getting everything she ever wanted, a baby. Liz Smith and baby Giselle crossed paths in 2016 when she was born premature to a mother who used drugs and had health issues.
And I said, I don't know, I have never considered fostering or adoption. A week later, literally Giselle crossed my path in a stroller and we locked eyes and that was it.
Giselle had no visitors for 5 months when Smith felt she should take her in. The state terminated the rights of her biological father and mother. Then Smith was allowed to formally adopt Giselle last October. Smith says Giselle's health has continued to improve.
And Trey, I think you've got a weather fact for us today.
I do, yeah. I do want to clear something up from earlier. Earlier I said to bring the umbrellas to the game with you, bring the ponchos. The umbrellas are not allowed in the game, but be sure to bring the poncho to protect yourself against the rain so you don't get wet.
Perfect. Well,
Definitely.
I will make sure to go grab some of those.
Yeah, also too, we do have just a little tidbit here. We've talked about a lot of the heat today. It's pretty warm. The record high temperature in Norman for this day is 90 degrees, set back in 1930, so we're not too far off from that.
Oh, wow. I'd love for it to get back up to 90 again.
Definitely.
Thank you for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you right back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30. Good night.
Have a great evening.
Good night.